Welcome back to Disco Elysium. We had a wonderful political discussion with the Sunday friend who witnessed the scene of the crime, but really didn't have all that many details about it. It wasn't the break we were hoping for. But he told us about the EPIS, and that was fascinating. Also about price stability, the price stabilité, as he says. A very fascinating discussion. Day 2's coming to a close, but there are still things we could do. If nothing else, Kuno will be available. He always is. Fairly sure we're done with this part. We could also go talk to Everard. That might actually be a good idea. And on the way, if the racist lorry driver is still available, maybe get a hold of the whole Cham mystery situation. Find out who's stealing drugs, what's going on with the drug situation in Martinez. The working class woman is gone. So are the old men. They were here before. I don't think we actually spoke with them. Maybe we should do that tomorrow. Titus Hardy is also available, I imagine. I presume they're still here drinking beer. Yup. There he is.
I've got nothing to say to you. Why are you wasting your time?
Elizabeth, are you the Hardy girl?
I am not.
She says dryly.
You could be Liz. You could be anything. You could even be a model.
Even a mod? Glenn, I went to law school. I am an attorney.
He's right. With a face like that, she could be on the cover of Le Debutante International.
What about it, chat? Shall we follow Electrochemistry's lead on this? And comment her looks? Or tell Glenn to get a grip? Or just change the topic? What shall we do? He is right, you know. You are very pretty.
The cold look in her eyes speaks louder than words. She is not amused. It's not her. She's not a Hardy girl. Definitely.
She didn't like that. Are you Lizzie, Elizabeth, Miss Beaufort?
I suggest not wasting time on trivial pleasantries and focusing on why you are actually here. Titus Hardy.
She points to the tall man by the table.
Even though she has excellent control over herself, something moved behind her eyes. In the way she stands. In her face.
Easy Leo told me about you. He likes to talk a lot.
You are not here to chat up the legal counsel. You are here to question these men.
Maybe we'll talk later then. I wonder if we have any more options available with Titus. Let's put on our cop gear. Did we ever do Perholidon? I'm not sure if we did.
Whoa. In your hand, Perolidon, the double rainbow of synthetic hallucinogens, rare and gritty, a product of the age of atomic power.
Look at the little puck of liquid.
What a funny little cap. Don't let the scary medical warnings throw you off. It's an inadequate antidote to radiation poisoning, but a potent antidote to boredom.
Wait, radiation poisoning sounds scary.
It's not gonna give you radiation poisoning, stupid. Pyrrolidon is a perfect match for a badass junkie cop who's looking for a little heat.
Open the cap.
The container is warm to the touch. Or is that just the anticipation? You screw the lid open and look. A little slit on the side lets you just slurp it up. Like an oyster. Come on, slurp it.
Wait, won't Kim see me slurp it?
What is he? Your mother? Is Kim your au pair? Slurp it. Slurp the morsel of danger joy.
There's only one option here. I'm not even gonna bother asking chat. I know what it's gonna be. Slurp it aggressively.
You suck a manly dose of the extremely chemical smelling liquid into your mouth. There, it seeps into your tongue. When you swallow, it's already almost all gone.
Tastes like fire.
It tastes like many things, all melting into one conflagration in the back of your throat. As you look around, the world slowly exists as it did before. Only now, gentle flames lick at its edges, as though it were a photo burning.
Oh god, on fire?
Not really. It's just a metaphor. The effect of that otherworldly drop of liquid is slower, more subtle than that of real flames, yet just as warm. This warmth, it makes you want to share your discovery with Kim.
Kim, I just did a drop of that anti-radiation drug. It's great.
I'm happy for you.
He answers.
His glasses turn golden as the fire reflects off the lenses. Once again, you are filled with the certainty. This man is your brother.
My brother.
Just don't mix it with anything, he thinks, looking you over. Thankfully, his sense of balance seems okay. Whatever, I'm not getting involved. Wow, Kim's badass. Or he's had a druggy partner. Whoa, that's probably it. He's seen it before. Look at all these guys go off like fireworks as information pours into you. About the lieutenant's simple remark, I'm happy for you. This stuff is great.
Will I be able to stand straight and walk?
Why not? This government-developed substance seems very non-intrusive. You could even operate heavy machinery. Fire machinery. Please don't actually operate any fire machines.
This is going to be so useful in my line of work.
Already you can tell you're going to be slurping a lot more pyrrolidon. This stuff is going to give you insight into that little flickering light hidden in all human beings.
In the bottom right corner of the screen, there's a Pyrrolidon button. It gives +1 to psyche skills. Empathy, suggestion, authority, inland empire, esprit de corps, and volition. This is good before rolling a white check, but damages your health.
Sweet psychoactives.
Looks like the circus left town, but the clowns are still here.
Hey Titus, I just did an anti-radiation drug. It's so good. Oh, we're still not going to be able to establish authority over Titus, I think. I want to talk about the hanging again.
Again, just get the dead guy's autograph, since you're his biggest fan.
A dead guy's autograph. That sounds so far out. I should definitely do that. Thanks for the tip, Titus.
Good one, Titus.
Okay, we got nothing on that line of questioning.
About fucking time.
I found someone who saw the hanging. A witness.
A witness? You ain't got shit. The locals would never come to you with this.
That's just Titus.
Next, he's gonna tell you one of us already rolled on the others, and is in witness protection.
My witness isn't a local.
Well, let's hear it then. Who is your mystery fella?
He's not alarmed by the sudden appearance of a witness, but he is surprised. This goes without saying, but nonetheless, don't give out his name.
Don't give out his name. we could give his name. Tell him where he's staying, or just say he's a high-ranking government official. Leave it at that, or say it's irrelevant. I guess I'll leave this up for the chat. Do we want to rat out the high government official? Seems like a very irresponsible thing to do. We're very high on drugs as well. Okay, good. We're not that high. We're not that stoned out of our head. Let's just say he's a high-ranking government official and leave it at that.
Yeah, right. Like we wouldn't know if an MI plant was in our town. Nice try, right?
MI is short for Moral Intern. Moral Intern is short for Moralist International, the coalition that runs Revachol.
Mm-hmm.
I've seen this shit a million times, Titus. Fly fishing. They are desperate. Tell us, Copper, what wacky claims did he make?
The witness said the hanging went down very quietly. No shouting, no commotion.
It's you assholes that feel the need to go around like a fucking brass band. The Hardy Boys are dead silent.
Yeah, it's like they put cowbells on you before they send you to the streets. What's with the cowbells, policeman?
They're avoiding having to answer this question.
I'd imagine you guys drinking and singing lynching songs. What's with the funeral silence?
We were drinking, weren't we, guys? I hit the bottle hard. I was drunk as fuck.
Right, I'm convinced, Glenn. Nothing off here. Just a regular hanging.
Bullseye. Glenn looks around uncomfortably. The lieutenant hit a nerve.
Nice job, Kim. The witness said he saw 2 people of Areopagite descent and 1 Mesk.
Arabagite? Boss, I think he's trying to say me and Theo.
Well, yeah. What is confusing you? Eugene, Theo, and Elaine were there too. I already told you. We were all there.
The witness said it looked like a surreal play.
Those flaccid MI cocks with their culture language. Everything's a surreal play or sublime whatever. Doesn't mean anything.
It means the whole scene was long and drawn out, like it was from a film.
What is this fella's problem? Sorry we didn't make it more action-packed. It wasn't the first thing on our minds, you see?
Shanky. It's Shanky, right? I thought there's something wrong about the lynching story. Now I know there was.
You don't know shit.
I know you are lying, Shanky.
He writes in his notebook.
You didn't break this wagon fort, but you did manage to rattle the people inside a bit.
Enough about the witness.
Some witness. I pulled the same shit. Came up with some shit, then went and said it to people. Get a reaction. Don't have to go to cop school to try that.
You don't have to go to school for shit. I never went to school, and I'm doing great.
You're doing a hell of a job, man. Hell of a job.
Okay, maybe it doesn't feel like this did anything to them, but they have to be fretting a little. Everyone is afraid of witnesses. Witness is a scary word. So much bluster to hide the fact that they're uncomfortable with you having this info.
Oh, that actually went up because we found a witness. We're also high. It improves our authority. Maybe let's just give it a try.
Establish authority. Yes. Authority. Feverish thoughts race through your mind.
First you tell me someone's been raped and then you don't say who? That's bullshit! As we stomp our feet. I'm the only one keeping this town from going to hell and you're not helping. Kim, I need your gun. That's it? That's all I got?
Did you already try the gun thing? I hear the gun thing is excellent and has great results.
No, we're not doing the gun thing again.
You're probably right. The others are only there for filler, to make the gun thing pop.
First you tell me someone's been raped, then you don't say who? That's bullshit!
Stop shitting your pants. You don't need to know, all right? We took care of it. The law handled it, all right?
Yeah. Aren't you listening? It's done. Finito.
You're not the law. I am the law.
For God's sake, stop shouting! Stop breaking things in my establishment! Stop provoking those oafs!
Sounds like someone's damn broke.
They're not going to give you anything, can't you see? I can't have a police interrogation in here. People are trying to eat.
I'm gonna tear your stupid hairy head off, Gart.
Wait, what?
Easy, babes. What is this? I can't have a slap fight in my bar. It's embarrassing.
We are deep in Far's territory. We need to cool off and re-engage later.
Everyone can see you picked some wrong options. Next time you have to come up with better things to say.
That went well. We definitely didn't embarrass ourselves just now. Fine. Let's go talk to Everard. Perhaps we can establish authority later. I hope. The racist lorry driver is not here. Guess we're not getting to interrogate him.
Damn, that felt good. Your heart's pounding nicely. You should tell people to fuck off more often.
Where's this coming from? I think we told the racist lorry driver ages ago to fuck off. I guess half-light wasn't high enough, and now it's registering it, but it's like, this has been happening a lot, where we get the pop-ups way late.
No, you shouldn't. You're an officer of the law.
Chat, what do you think? Kim, I think I should tell people to fuck off more often. It felt really good. Fuck yeah, motherfuckers. Or it's not really my style. Kim, I think I should tell people to fuck off more often. It felt really, really, really good.
Not as a general rule, but that one was justified. Better to get the lay of the land before telling people to fuck off.
Fuck yeah, motherfuckers.
That's the spirit. Never forget. The whole world's a wooden house, and you're a goddamn flamethrower.
Get some health back for that. But yeah, that was supposed to pop up way earlier. I'm not sure why it didn't. Let's see, do we need anything from the store? Tools. Got 2 uses for cigarettes. Plenty of alcohol. Still don't have speed. It's getting late, but let's hope. Let's hope Everard is still up. So we can tell him that we opened the weasel door. Maybe he'll actually part with some information. A giant aspirin on the pillow and a pattern of coffee rings on the armrest. Someone is habitually chilling next to the radio. We have anything we can call?
The payphone hangs mutely on the wall. There isn't much more to do here.
Nope. So unfortunately we missed our window to speak with the racist lorry driver. I think we probably should have spoken with him first before confronting Titus Hardy. But there's always tomorrow. Oh, what's that? A composite eye of halogen lights watches over you, emitting a low buzz. There's the container.
You're back before the cargo container. Its draw has not lessened since you were last here. If anything, it seems to have grown slightly.
Wow, it's actually really good. It's already 17%, been in the world for 2 days. Money is all about trust. That would be because we spoke with one of the bar patrons way earlier. And also the dice set gives us a boost to that, but perhaps chat can actually improve our intellect so we could get a better rhetoric. I click this button, it should give you a menu somewhere in here. And you should be able to boost my stats, or deboost them if you don't want me to open this door. Let's see how it goes. I believe you also have to take away from one other trait to boost this one, but it would be the int one. $28. It's as good as it's gonna get.
Why are you even trying to open a door with rhetoric?
Because getting physical wasn't an option.
Because what wasn't an option?
Using my body over my wits. It wasn't an option.
Now is not the time to get philosophical, detective. You can do that after hours.
Nothing more to do here for now. Oh, Everard's gone. We missed our window. That leaves us very little to do for day 2. Something forgotten on the coffee table. Where? I'm not seeing it. Maybe we picked it up before, and it's only now showing that blip. Easy Leo's still around.
Oh, hey, mister. I knew you'd be back to talk with old Leo here. Yes, I did. It's like Lady Larice said when she opened a bathhouse in the basement of my apartment building. They can only get so far before they're aching to get back. And lots of folk really did keep coming back.
I had some questions for you, if that's not too much trouble.
No trouble at all, mister. No trouble at all. It's like that old saying goes. Wisdom withers if not shared, and old Leo is always up for sharing.
Okay, I'm off. Guess we don't have anything to say to Leo. Everard's gone to sleep. The racist lorry driver and Tommy Lehom are also probably gone. As such, there's nothing else to do in the harbor. Let's see. Find your heraldic bird. This is one we could actually do. We did buy the book to the guide to cockatoos. We did improve our authority. Need to pay guard. Could do that at the end of the day. Still looking for the traffic hooligan. Can't do Chem mystery. I'm not sure if we could already call back about this. We can try. Victim's tattoos. Hanged man's boots. I have to remember this one. for late hours. We missed our shot at getting the boots on day 1. So I'm gonna have to try to remember to do it at the end of the day, after Kim's gone to sleep. See. Kuno's probably up and about, but so is Choice, I imagine. 3 skill points available. Well, let's open up another thought cabinet. We may as well start internalizing another thought. A Shamrock Shuffle. We could probably internalize this until by the end of the day. Suicide of Krasmazov. So a little bit longer. It's interesting though. Apricot chewing gum scented 1. Actual art degree. Inexplicable feminist agenda. I haven't really said all that many feminist lines. Some. Well, we are doing Masovian socioeconomics. I think it only stands to reason we internalize the suicide of Krasmazov as well. There we go. And since I don't think we can still look at this...
You see a set of tire tracks in the brown...
Yep. So how about we improve visual calculus by 1? It's only at 2, so it's a good thing to level up. Put on our visual calculus glasses.
You see a set of tire tracks in the brown slush that covers the plaza mosaic.
58, but we can do better. We can have a smoke. That will improve our intellect, just like in real life.
You see a set of tire tracks.
And of course, the chat can help me out with this as well. If you want to improve my visual calculus, that's an intelligence check. Let's see if you want to help me out with this. Maybe we can finally reconstruct the movement of the vehicle that broke the fence. Something tells me it has to do with the tire tracks leading onto the roof of the pawn shop, breaking the Samar and Brother sign, and closing the waterlock. 83. Let's do it.
The tire tracks were left here by an unknown event that took place some days ago. It's a message, written in the language of burnt rubber. Some of that rubber stuck to the tiles right in front of the whirling in rags. This is point A. The driver started there, and then accelerated straight into the fence, left a hole big enough for the Franco-Nigerian cavalry, according to the cafeteria manager.
What happened next?
The driver proceeded to back out of the yard, barely stopping before hitting the adjacent building, before heading south. Must have been in a hurry.
Car drove through the fence.
You are correct. This is a rather motor carriage-friendly city.
Somehow that makes you feel scared. You don't know why.
Is this connected to the case?
I'm not sure. There are plenty of traffic accidents waiting to happen in Martinez. With the jam right here on the roundabout, I would keep them separate.
You could follow the tracks south. There seems to be a canal there. See where they went, if you find the time.
Well, as we already established, this is the point of departure of the vehicle that crashed into the Samar and Butter sign.
That's plausible. A similar reckless abandon seems to be in evidence.
We need to find the traffic hooligan. That's one of our quests. It's probably Jacob Erb, as we established. I think I got it. Alright. That's the thing we managed to do. We still haven't been able to speak with this woman. Can't tell her that we want to have fuck with her again, as we did in the very first episode. Kuno's gotta be here until 2 a.m., so we're not in a rush to speak with him. So let's instead see if Choice is still up and about. If nothing else, we can ask her about reality. We still haven't finished the reality lowdown. Hold on. What's this here?
Just an ordinary wall. Nothing to see here.
42%. +2 in the dimming light. Some things become clearer, so we're getting a boost because we're not looking at it during daytime. You have a keen aesthetic sensibility, and Cindy's artistic impulses are infectious. Well, we have some conceptualization clothes, like the Ceremerisian lounge jacket, the white satin shirt, that's a +2. I believe that's all we have in terms of clothing. We have already taken cigarettes, and the cooldown has
just an ordinary wall.
Just passed. So if you want to, you can give me another int boost. So maybe we can figure out why are we looking at this wall. It seems like just an ordinary wall. What's up with that? Still 72.
Because this is no ordinary wall. It is sublime. Look at it. The shadows, the colors.
Let the conceptual joy flow into your pupils and blossom into thoughts in your brain.
All the other walls on all the other houses must make a pilgrimage in adoration of this, the uncontested pinnacle of wallcraft, color peeled from the very face of God.
More.
Oh, Wallfather.
Kim, I must paint this wall. Add even more beauty to it.
Huh? He sounds tired of it all. Cindy the Skull has all the necessary materials. Talk to her.
First, I know you're tired, Kim, but take another look at this wall. Draw nourishment from its beauty.
Mm-hmm. Sure.
The lieutenant looks up at the wall reluctantly, then back at you. I must talk to Cindy, get the necessary materials from her.
If you must.
He sighs, then adds in a resigned tone. We got a new quest. Add even more beauty to the wall. You've seen an exceptionally beautiful wall in Martinez near the pier and have decided to add to its beauty artistically. This will take a brush first. Who would have one? Then paint, and then the act itself. That seems important for our investigation. We should maybe talk to Cindy, ask her about arts equipment. She's right there.
Hello again, officers. Have you come to admire my mural?
Cindy, I need some paint. And your brush too.
What for?
For art. It's for art, okay?
Well, if it's for art... But what kind of art are we talking about?
Yeah, what kind of art are we talking about, chat? Haven't thought of it. Everything's sad and shit. Grand art. Art deluxe. What kind of art are we talking about? Yes, the superstar option. Grand art. Art deluxe. The artiest. The most groundbreaking. The...
Let me stop you right there, Piggy. You have no idea, do you? No idea. No brush? Fuck off.
To crush a man's dreams like that, I hope you're happy.
there, Piggy. I guess art just isn't really you. 'Cause you suck in life and in everything.
That's uncalled for, Cindy. 17%. Again, chat can improve this if they want to. Improve my int. Maybe we can explain our artistic intentions. This is a one-time only. If we fail it, we're never getting it again. You can just reduce it and see where that takes us. But we'd need a point in int to convince Cindy that she should relinquish her brush for our artistic intentions. It's probably not going to get very high even with a boost. 28. It's as good as it's going to get. They do say the painter always paints his own portrait. Oh man, that's lame.
No, it's great.
I'm gonna paint a self-portrait, but sorta, you know, from the inside, to show people what it's like.
That's pretty fucked up. Even for you, Piggo.
What if I add some interpretive dance?
I think everyone would rather you didn't.
Stop belittling me, Cindy.
Stop quivering like jello. Then you won't get fucked.
But that would mean he doesn't say every pathetic thing that pops in his head.
Thanks, Felician. Okay, I won't do that. Just please, please, pretty please. Just give me some paint and a brush. I need to do some art.
You're a real sad sack. You know that? Go ahead then. Art it up. Just try not to hurt yourself. And no self-portraits.
Thanks, Cindy.
Oh, but I'm all out of fuel oil.
You know what you should be able to find in your government-issued vehicle? Red-dyed heavy fuel oil.
Right on. No way I'm settling for paint, if even children are painting with fuel oil.
That beautiful wall deserves nothing less.
Kim, my friend, would you be willing to sacrifice some of your fuel oil for art?
My fuel oil is for my kinema. Use your own fuel if you are unable to contain your artistic impulses, but please, leave my kinema out of it.
Aw, bummer. Well, thanks, Cindy. Catch you later. Let's have a look at that brush. A paintbrush belonging to Cindy the Skull, an aspiring artist. Its bristles smell nauseatingly of heavy fuel oil. Specks of red, orange, and green paint cover the aluminum ferrule. So now we need to find government-marked heavy fuel oil and return to the wall. And then we can realize our vision. We're getting some good stuff done today. If we're talking with choice, let's see. What kind of clothes would we want to wear for choice? Esprit de corps and shivers. Half light. I don't think electrochemistry needs a boost. It's talking enough as is. Logic, but -1 suggestion. I think we may want to switch the shirt for something else, like... Oh, if we have it off, did that actually... Did we have Coach Physical Instrument? No. Never mind. So let's put on our insane mesh tank top. Some logic classes. I think that's good enough. Shadows on the water, green plants under the calm surface.
You're back. Good. What can I help you with?
Well, it's late, but I guess it's not too late for some questions about reality. This is, of course, the very early quest that we got. Get a reality lowdown. We've been putting it off because we have had more important things to do, like finding walls to paint on. But right now seems like the time. Everybody else is asleep. We can't really progress with the case, so let's start asking about this world of ours, this reality.
More lessons in basic reality? My favorite part of the day. Go ahead, ask me anything.
What times are these?
These are unimportant times, Detective. You and I were born after the dust had settled. 1,000th of a second too late.
Too late for what?
For the big time.
Her eyes light up. There's a flash of teeth.
The smile of a predator. No doubt what she's got in mind.
You've got a predatory streak.
All men are predators, dear. Nothing much to be done about that. It's all a matter of where you get to file your teeth.
What's the big time?
The revolution.
Huh. And what is this revolution I keep hearing about? We should know by now.
It's quite easy. Every 100 years or so, our species gets together to decide what's next, who gets shot in the head, and who gets the mineral rights. It's a real kerfuffle.
Who got shot in the head?
Those would be the communists. Generally speaking, 40 million people got shot in the head during the World Revolution. But the communists, they all got shot in the head. Oh, and the anarchists too. They shot them well. So well, one forgets they even existed.
Did the communists and anarchists shoot back?
Did they ever? Before they got shot themselves, they shot 2 million people.
I think we'll leave this for the chat. Truly a kerfuffle? That's a tragedy, or sounds like they should have shot more people in the head then. Just shaping up what kind of a person we are. Sounds like they should have shot more people in the head.
This does not represent the official RCM opinion,
the lieutenant says from behind his notes.
Don't worry. Kras Mazov shot 15 million people in the head. But that was all the way over in Grad.
Kras Mazov, we just internalized a thought regarding him. Anyone else got shot in the head? On the opposing side?
Oh, lots of people. Even the king got shot in the head. Or thrown beneath a horse. Or drowned. Accounts differ. It was unceremonious. Just as well, he wasn't actually the king. Just the king's nephew. The real king abdicated and lived out a long and productive life as a venture capitalist in Grad.
I guess I'll leave this one for the chat too. Smart, cowardly. I love that king. As we say fucking communist, as we're totally a communist, internalizing communist thoughts. I don't care about kings. Those are our options. We're gonna end up, this is such a cognitive dissonance we have going on here. 50-50. Okay, I'm gonna have to actually roll a coin here. Let's say heads for the first one, tails for the second. Flip. And it's a tails. I don't care about kings. Tell me one more thing.
About head shooting?
Who got the mineral rights?
The liberals got the mineral rights. And by mineral rights, I mean everything.
And by liberals, you mean...
Liberals are usually middle-class people, Detective. Or the remaining gentry. The beneficiaries of the pre-revolutionary arrangement. Some were rich enough to stay with the Constitution, with monarchy. Big mistake. Others bet on the revolution. They were called the ultras, or ultra-liberals. They fared well.
How did the liberals win it all?
They didn't win so much as survive. We were the last ones standing when the war ended. Everyone else got shot in the head, remember?
We. She's one of them. Of course.
If everyone got shot, who was there to surrender to?
to foreign intervention. The Coalition. Those people really took the mineral rights.
Wait, you just said the liberals already took everything.
The Liberals took everything that wasn't nailed to the ground. The Coalition took the ground. The ocean, the laws, and the people.
Who are the Coalition?
The Coalition of Nations. Grad, Mesk, Vesper, Messina, Oranje, and Sur-le-Clay, the armed center of the world. They landed here and ended the revolution. It was the moralist thing to do.
We've been learning a lot about the Coalition lately. Just last time we spoke with a bureaucrat who told us a lot about that.
There is bitterness in her voice, tempered with understanding. She is critical, but ultimately understands the cause.
We probably should have spoken up to her before. It just seems like we already got this information from elsewhere. It seems a little off to be asking about it now, but we'll just keep going with it. Moralist?
The moralists believe in keeping everything exactly the way it is. They believe in mineral rights and not shooting people in the head. At least not in the same manner and volume as the others do. They are the long-standing provisional rulers of Revachol now, the coalition government.
The rulers of Revachol, and also the world. These guys are strong.
This is their zone of control. They embolden the RCM with crumbs of the same law they took. Technically speaking, you are a moralist.
The color of moralism is blue. The official motto of Moral Intern, or Moralist International, is a blue forget-me-not, a piece of grey sky. Unofficial. For a moment, there was hope.
Yeah, are we a moralist? I'm not sure. What do you think, chat? I don't think we are. Not just technically, practically. For a moment there was hope. Or if always picking the option that doesn't commit to anything, then hell yes I am. And also not. I don't personally think we're a moralist, but we've been saying some moralist things of late. Are we gonna need another coin toss? Looks like it. Okay. At some point I really need to get a layout for to show you the flip, so you don't think I'm rigging it. But let's say heads for the first one, tails for the second. Flip. 2 heads. I don't think I'm a moralist, ma'am. I think I'm a raging communist.
Of course. Not easy to be moderate about head shooting in your line of work.
When was this kerfuffle?
The turn of the century revolution? Don't answer it. It's a trick question. The revolution began in '02 on the Isla of Grad, though by the end nearly the whole world had gotten involved.
Who started it?
It wasn't a who, but a what. A pandemic of Zarat, a particularly virulent prion disease, which the authorities in Grad proved unable to contain. Then Mazov came along and overthrew the government.
What does this Zaroth do?
It made people overthrow their governments.
Wow, really?
Of course not. It was a highly infectious microorganism that destroyed brain tissue. The actual causes of the revolution were material. The pandemic only provided the spark.
Where did it spread from there?
From Revachol and Grad? Not far. The world managed to cauterize itself. Mazov's government was overthrown in '08, and the coalition crushed the Revachol commune 2 years later. It was the end.
What came after?
Why? You and I, officer. Our lives in the zone of control.
Something tells you her life and yours are not that similar. Maybe it's because she has a boat and you have that necktie? A pair of pants?
Our lives are very different from each other.
No doubt. But we share the same time and position on the planet's crust. That counts for more than you think.
What is the zone of control?
A city-state divided into free market zones under the everlasting interregnum of the Coalition of Nations. And you, of course, the citizens' militia.
The clatter of typewriter keys fills the main hall of the reappropriated silk mill. Precinct 41. Chad Tilbrook presses enter. Outside, Officer Elfboy Williams slams the door of an armored motor carriage.
Elfboy?
The zone of control is the third incarnation of Revachol, after the failure of the suzerain and the commune.
What happened in the rest of the world?
Modernity. They developed the marvels of the inter-easlary communication, telematic milieus, radiation, colored plastics. Meanwhile, in Revachol West, the aftermath continues for the 5th decade.
51 minus 8 equals 43.
Wait, you're saying it's been like this for 43 years?
Time flies.
What have we been doing all that time?
The 20s saw a decade of urban war, west of the river leveled, offshore platforms in flames. Still, it's regarded as an improvement on what came before. 08 to 19 was simply hell.
And after that?
The 30s? Things settled down in the 30s. Revachol East transformed itself into the world's largest tax haven, with the international community's blessing. For the first time in a long time, it seemed like things were going somewhere.
Were they?
No. It was a market mirage fueled by cocaine and quantitative easing. The 40s dispelled it like a cold splash, an Isla-wide hangover, you might say. And here we are.
She curtsies.
Welcome to reality, baby.
Yep, something tells me we should have probably done this way earlier. It's still updated, though. Or is it just done? Yep, suppose it's done.
For her to be where she is, Wild Pines Group must have picked the right side.
So, when I first played this game, I actually went through all of this on the first day. And when Joyce talks about the market mirage fueled by cocaine and quantitative easing, I know it makes me sound like a huge nerd, but that's where I figured, oh man, this game is for adults. This writing is, this is a new bar for video game writing. I can't even tell you why. It's because of that, but why that specific bit hit me so hard, but it did. Which side was Wild Pines Group on?
They picked the winning side. That's why they're here, and others are not.
Did they choose wisely, or did they get lucky? What do you think? They got lucky.
Perhaps it wouldn't have turned out that way had I been in charge. I might have bet on the king and led the Pines to doom.
You would have sided with the king.
I would have sided with the cannons. If you'd seen the calibers of the things, you might have too. Perhaps it's better I was born when I was. 10 of the 14 Indo tribes got it wrong. Feld, Kupri, Tricentennial. So I suppose I would have been in good company.
She narrows her eyes, turning her gaze to the future out of professional habit. All she can see are vague outlines of a great winding down. The doldrums. People killed, but no great transitions of wealth. It makes her feel old, and something else. Something you can't put your finger on. A quietly simmering rage.
What would you have done differently?
Good question. What would you have done differently?
No, her first.
I asked you, who are you in all this?
And I asked you, past-less detective of the Citizens Militia, what insight has acute encephalopathy given to you?
Here's some wisdom, lady. Say the death thing.
The death thing? You mean I would have killed more, 400 million, if that's what it took? That's what Half-Life wants to say. I would have sought a medical solution. Sounds like Zaroff drove those people mad. I would have positioned myself very precisely. I would have made it out with the mineral rights. I don't know what I would have done differently. What do you think? What does chat think about this? What should have we done if we were in charge during the time of the revolution? Oh, we already said that one. we already said that. Okay, let's say it again.
And I asked you, past-less detective of...
Nothing.
Wisdom, lady. Say the death thing.
You know what? Let's go with Half-Light. Since that vote didn't go so well. I would have killed more. 400 million if that's what it took.
The cold runs down your spine as you say the words, like a small electric charge that seeks grounding.
I see. 1/10 of humanity. The key of history is in the lock. Keep turning at any cost.
At any cost until humanity is free and the age of capital is past. Until this insanity is crushed and Revachol reigns as suzerain forever. Until it's all mine, every pigment-drenched black leaf of money in Revachol. Until the middle class, the gentry and the workers are all gone and the age of man is over. Yeah, let's leave it up for chat. Nothing bad can come out of this one, right? Oh lord. The nationalist option. Suzerain forever.
The wind stops, and for a moment, there's silence. The cold dissipates into your parietal lobe, like a dissolved bullet. All is quiet on the Martinez Inlet. A dog barks. A gunshot echoes off the walls of some distant building. A woman's voice.
Revachol forever. Forever? In 20 years, Revachol went from a king to a commune to a zone of control. She is forever. But the next thing she will be is something else.
Opinions expressed here do not reflect the official position of the RCM.
And what is your official position, Lieutenant?
My position, ma'am? My parents got ripped to shreds in the revolution. I would have gone the same way. I was saved by being 2 years old. That's my position. The abattoir.
Understandable.
She nods. That's enough about the times.
They are what they are. Who knows? An afterbloom may yet come. Anyway, enough sentimentality. Is there anything else you want to know?
Not so fast. Who is she in all this? Ask her who she is. She owes you an answer.
We'll get back to it in just a little bit.
Glad to have been of assistance. The little that I know. Anything else?
Because we did gain a thought, and I think we should take a look at that. But what's... I think I know what this is. This is going to be probably Half-Light telling us some stuff.
It's clear you like the hard stuff, Bruder.
Endurance, rather. The what? Sounds like my stomach is growling.
Evening falls. The time has come to take the vow.
Vows?
The vows are blood and flesh.
What's my lower intestine going on about?
Lower intestine? The term is metabolic and circulatory system.
Okay, but what's the hard stuff?
Fascism, Brota.
What is fascism, though?
Many things, but it's mostly about trusting your gut. Who does your gut tell you is the source of Revachol's problems?
I thought you were my circulatory system.
Quit stalling, Bruta. We're talking about the weakest, worst, most insane thing. The weak link.
Yeah, which is it? What do you think? What is the source of Revachol's problems? leftist academians?
Yes, them. But also, women.
Women?
Women. Men of war. You don't like them. They're insane. Their idiocy needs to be scrubbed off this world with rubbing alcohol. Woo men need to go back to the fucking kitchen. That's what fascism boils down to. The rest is also important. But the main thing is that woo men need to know their place.
But I'm a feminist. I'm some kind of feminist.
Feminist? No, it can't be. Not you. No one believes this.
Did you know you can forget thoughts? Go to your thought cabinet and forget all about feminism.
Am I having some kind of stomach seizure?
Stomach truth. You're having a stomach truth.
Ah, one of those. Why am I getting this?
Because you've said the hard things that others won't say. The good things, you've said them many times.
Fascism sounds so bad, though. What if we called it something else, like, traditionalism?
Okay, yes, let's call it that. Good thinking. That sounds much better. Traditionalism. You like the sound of that.
Okay, stomach, I've made up my mind about fascism.
You're going to keep your views, right? Keep your views, Brota.
I'm going to regret this, aren't I? Will we opt in? Oh no. I will keep my woes for the glory of the Revacholian nation.
For the nation, smart. Best not to mention the women too often. That's why you're the head and I am the stomach.
No, fascism is about industry and politics and nationhood, not women. I'm absolutely okay with women.
Of course you are, Bruta. Of course. A wink-shaped growl sounds from your ass.
Oh, pat your stomach. Great, we gained a thought. We'll have a look at that in just a bit. Here's Masovian socioeconomics, which is... The communism is definitely not at odds with Revacholian nationhood, is it? And the moralism thing. We're a mess.
0.000% of communism has been built. Evil, child-murdering billionaires still rule the world with a shit-eating grin. All he has managed to do is make himself sad. He is starting to suspect Krasmezov fucked him over, personally, with his socio-economic theory. It has, however, made him into a very smart boy with something like a university degree in truth. Instead of building communism, he now builds a precise model of this grotesque, duplicitous world.
Left-wing dialogue options give +4 experience. -1 visual calculus, reaction everywhere. -1 authority, downtrodden in the communist. Yep, I guess we'll accept. I'm not crazy about these debuffs. Our authority is already super low. And we did gain Revacholian nationhood, which gives us -1 composure. Haggard nationalist. Takes 9 hours, 10 minutes to internalize. They've fucked this place. Revachol is in ruins. The Koikos and the Kips and the Armitage with the desert pygmy magic spinning tops. They fucked it. Orangis, liberals, and Vespertine moneylenders too. They're all socialists, especially the women and the Kipts. You have only a vague idea what this means, but it's clear that a good strong state must be erected upon the ruins if any of us are to have a future. The shadowy outlines of this state start forming every time you close your eyes. I'm not crazy about internalizing that one, but it is a thought we have now. and it's going to show up as an option in the future. It's getting late, but I think we can still ask Joyce some questions about reality before we call it a night.
You're back. Good. What can I help you with?
I've got some more questions about reality.
More lessons in basic reality? My favorite part of the day. Go ahead, ask me anything.
Okay, let's ask about her. What are you, Joyce Messier? She hums.
She won't maneuver her way out of this one.
What are you?
I am the vilest of the vile. A traitor. A devourer of nations and infants. I am an ultra.
She raises the corner of her mouth, smirking, revealing a canine. It's sharp.
Wait, what's an ultra?
An ultra-liberal. It's a type of liberal. From the revolution. It's, not the moderate kind.
Dios mío, a liberal!
Yes. I am the nether creature of the Forbidden Swamp. I pushed the king under a shit wagon and betrayed the revolution. My kind surrendered the nation to financial colonists. I can see you thought we'd gone extinct. After all, no sane person identifies as an ultra-liberal anymore. Not in broad daylight. You've got Revachol in your blood. A real nationalist. No? Tell me, now that I've uncoiled myself, are you repulsed?
A real nationalist. I think we're still more of a communist, but sure.
In her green eyes, you see a mixture of truth and self-satire. Decades of guilt and pride.
I guess I'll leave this for the chat. You're a monster. I forgive you. I forgive you, but only because you're charming. I don't care. Well, we have a 50-50, it looks like. Which means we need another coin toss. Heads for the first one, tails for the second. We have heads. You are a monster.
That's a pity. I hope we can remain collegial despite my affection for regicide and multiculturalism. We didn't mean to kill the king, I assure you. When the dust settled, the liberals were the only ones left to clean up the mess. By virtue of their survival, they were handed enormous power to shape the future. This was all our last generation managed.
Would you have done something differently?
With due respect to our overlords, the eternal caretaker government that keeps Martinez a monument to the efficacy of its artillery.
While a gentle wind sweeps the streets in the rebuilt east, light drizzle washing it clean, lights go up and motor carriages circulate the tracks.
I would not have relinquished sovereignty to the Coalition. Not here in Martinez, and not in the Stella Maris or Delta Beachheads either.
She realizes her small, cold fists are clenched. She loosens them.
I accidentally pressed space. She did say, if not for my own sake.
Then for my daughters. We had an obligation to defend our sovereignty. We should have burned the whole Isla down rather than let them have it.
Dark orange flames reflect in her green eyes. An oil fire on the ocean.
You're a smart woman.
Perhaps. My intellectual vanity will be my undoing.
You're no dummy yourself.
So am I.
A smart boy getting smarter. One basic term of reality at a time.
You're a patriot?
Yes. I suppose I am. But I wouldn't be a patriot anywhere but here.
Seditious talk, man.
The lieutenant puts down his nose and gives her a look. You have daughters?
Yes. Whatever else I am. I'm also a mother. And a wife. Now, shall we return to reality?
What is this? As we spread our hands.
A bird? A sphenicid? A flightless bird of the polar regions?
Am I really that awkward?
Of course you're not, my dear. I'm just terrible at guessing games.
I meant, what is this place here?
Ah. This is the pier of Rue de Saint-Ghislain, 33A, where the tenants have been kind enough to rent me a slot. Or two.
She looks around. What is Rue de Saint-Ghislain, 33A?
A pre-revolutionary tenement. Old buildings are called tenements, you see. And new buildings, bâtiments. After, les bâtiments nouveaux. But 33A and 33B are not nouveaux. They're old.
She looks up at the crumbling facade.
This one used to be 8 to 10 stories tall. A real high-rise by the standards of the last century. Built to mirror the skyscrapers across the bay in the Delta. That was before the war, of course.
Who lived in them?
Mostly the urban middle class, I believe. This was once primo real estate, before the cannons lopped 4 or 5 stories off. Splat, splat.
From a dilapidated balcony, Cindy the Skull gives Joyce the evil eye, her red paintbrush held to her throat. But she doesn't have the paintbrush anymore. We took that from her.
You could be wrong. But from here it appears as if she's running the brush across her throat in a soaring motion.
Perhaps he has another one.
Wonderful.
What is that? As we point to Cindy the Skull.
The girl in the old lady rags.
Yes.
Looks like a sullen and rebellious member of a teen infraculture.
Infraculture?
Yes. You and I belong to the supraculture. We're common, the herd. The music on the radio, the food in the chain restaurant, those are all too popular for the girl in the old lady rags.
Oh, I can get behind that. I'm an art cop. I'm a superstar.
She prefers a fantasy world, an infraculture with its own dress code and vernacular. It is an illusion, I'm afraid. There is no refuge from the supraculture.
Sounds awfully Pierre Bourdieu to me. I understand everything. Make it more complicated somehow.
I can't. That's how simple it is. One may dye their hair green and wear their grandma's coat, all they want. Capital has the ability to subsume all critiques into itself. Even those who would critique capital end up reinforcing it instead. All right. What next?
Esprit de Corps is at 58% because we can access the ICP database. Kim debrief done. Conceptualization very high. Let's try Esprit de Corps first. Perhaps the chat can improve my psyche to bring that up by a point. Maybe we can conjure up what's something close to us. We could also take drugs, but we only have 3 more uses left of Pyrrolidon. I think we should save it for something more important. $58. Let's try it.
It remains a mystery what you mean by this something close. This isn't about you. It's about reality.
Failed it. But we shouldn't fail this one. Let's go for it. What is something fundamental?
A strange coldness comes over you as you look at the world. The waves sway the sloop slowly. That's all.
Really?
The doubt is fully formed in your head. The alien feeling persists. Yet something's still missing. You have finished mulling over the jamais vu thought, but your conceptualization skills are not nuanced enough to make sense of it.
That's all for now.
Glad to have been of assistance. The little that I know. Anything else?
I guess not. I was really expecting to nail that, but I rolled badly. I wonder if Cindy has anything new to say.
Hello again, officers. Have you come to admire my mural?
I guess not. 2334. We'll just have to return to choice later. for those fundamental questions about reality. Okay, our fascist points have gone up a little bit, not by a lot. We're still mostly a communist. And mostly a centrist communist, I'd say. That describes us pretty well. We are absolutely not sorry or boring or apocalyptic. We are the superstar cop. Embodied. At this point, I'm almost ready to just pick the superstar cop option whenever it's presented, because it's so well established at this point. Let's see if Kuno has anything new to say.
Fuck, does Kuno care?
Yeah, we could try figuring out what's going on with him, but it's very low. I don't think I want to try that just now. Then again, what's the harm?
He's on your crime scene, bossing you around. And he's been here for some time too. This is where he hangs out. You have to get more out of him. He could be useful.
Kuno, you must have seen all kinds of things throwing stones here. Want to help the RCM bust a murderer?
Fuck, no. What are you? Fucking mentally handicapped?
Kuno, they've almost made you a snitch now.
Ease off, see? Kuno always takes the bullet over the hammer.
He nods, big boy style, incredibly proud of himself.
He'd rather die than work with the justice system.
Well, dang it.
Kuno doesn't fucking care.
He doesn't care. By now everybody's asleep. Perhaps... Let's see if we can interact with the body, now that we've done some errands around.
The bear's eyes are still glowing red. It's guarding over the freezing corpse hidden inside its belly.
Nope. We'd have to increase perception for that. But I'm sure eventually it'll unlock once again. We can try it without adding a point. I guess we could find our heraldic bird. It's getting pretty late and we really can't do anything. Perhaps it's finally time to read a book. We have quite a few of them too, but this is the one that we have a quest for. A book about the different cockatoo species and their behavioral problems. Perhaps it could also offer some insight into your own often problematic actions. The spectacular miniature majestic cockatoo eyes you from the cover. Let's read through it.
A cockatoo is a parrot with an erectile crest, found on the Seminine Islands and in southern Fas a la Mer. Known for their intelligence and general precociousness, cockatoos are popular birds in aviculture. However, they often exhibit various behavioral issues.
Okay, one more.
This book talks about the delicate nature of toos, as well as introducing some of the most popular species among the bird enthusiasts. The funeral cockatoo, the major majestic cockatoo, and the most common bang bang cockatoo. It's colorfully illustrated.
I'll bite. What problems do these birds have?
Where to even begin? All cockatoos are known for their needy natures, requiring attention for at least 2 full hours a day. They love to talk and have been described as lovable clowns who just don't know how to wrap up.
I could handle that. It would be nice to have someone to talk to when feeling lonely.
Pet owners also report moodiness, loudness, and hostility as recurring issues. If left unsatisfied, cockatoos may scream non-stop, pluck their feathers, or become aggressive.
Right, that's pretty bad. Anything else?
It is not recommended to get a cockatoo if you're not able to cook them food every day and give them the full care that they need. These birds will never understand that you have a life of your own.
Yes, but there has to be something great about cockatoos as well.
You're right. Cockatoos are magnificent creatures. They love to perform, cuddle and show off, and will even scream for fun, often as loud as up to 135 decibels. Ouch, that must hurt.
That is loud.
Not great for the neighbors. Performing? Yes, birdie.
Drama likes it. Read about the funeral cockatoo.
This is a yellow-tailed black cockatoo. Its specific name, Psittacus venereus, relates to its dark and somber plumage. This bird looks as if dressed for a funeral, 24/7. There is something indisputably ominous about it.
Ooh. Read about the major majestic cockatoo.
Perhaps the most impressive of all the species, the endangered major majestic cockatoo, is often described as the most flamboyant bird in the jungle. Its pink-colored wings and flowing crest embellishing its proud and bumptious nature. In the words of poet-explorer Sir James Fournier, few birds more enliven the monotonous hues of the verdant forest than this big, bold, and beautiful species. It must be glorious to behold, dark pink and snow white.
Read about the most common bang-bang cockatoo.
Despite its banging name, the bang-bang cockatoo is actually the shyest of the species, common in almost all Seminoles forests, as well as zoos and homes all over the world. Its plumage is mainly grey and white. The Seminoles name, bang-bang, is thought to be of onomatopoeic origins.
Honestly, this bird does sound a bit like me.
Yes, but all those cockatoo species are so different. Which one are you?
The grey uncommon bang-bang, that's me. Only the funeral cockatoo in its darkness can truly grasp the depths of my doom-laden soul. Isn't it obvious? Major majestic, here I come. But what if I'm just a fuck-up-a-two? A fuck-up and a cockatoo? I have to take some time to think about it. I think it's obvious. Like I said, we are a superstar. This is our heraldic bird. Major majestic, here I come.
You're right. Your Majesty embodied. This big, beautiful bird belongs on your heraldry.
Alright. That's one quest done. We found our heraldic bird. I can't wait to tell the working class woman about that. Alright, let's see. It's past midnight. I think it's time we paid for our hostel bill for the night. And consider turning in. But of course, we do have one more extremely important thing to do.
Can I help you?
About my bill for tonight.
20 real.
Here it is.
Good. You got the room for the night, but remember, you'll need another 20 real tomorrow.
How could anyone forget, asshole?
Goodbye, Gart. Right, let's see. Can we speak to Kim about anything before we turn in for the night?
Yes?
Yeah, we have a logic check. Let's improve that a little bit by smoking. Brings it up to 83, but I believe we have Wait, do we not? Do we already have our logic stuff on? I guess we do. Okay, so no more boosts to that. Yes. Unless maybe the chat wants to bring our int up by a little bit. Maybe we can figure out why the 41st sent us a raging alcoholic and a drug user, a complicated human being, to solve the case. Still at 83. Let's try.
Because you're the best qualified. No, that doesn't seem right.
Dumb brain, I'm good for nothing.
You look dumb if you keep the lieutenant waiting for too long.
Ah, forget about it. Our volition has gone down by a fair bit. Our morale is gone. Is there anything else that we want to do today? That we can do today? We could maybe read a book. Another book, just real quick, before we're off. We found La Fumée a while ago. The leading intellectual organ of Martinez communism offers a radical Mazovian perspective on a range of contemporary issues. The cover features a stylized portrait of the late King Frizzle with a pair of white antlers growing out of his head. Let's have a look.
The front of this quarterly journal features a large satirical portrait of the late King Frizzle. From the sides of his head, a pair of white antlers spread to the corners of the cover.
Why Frizzle?
Because Frizzle was incompetent, foolish, and cruel. In short, the embodiment of everything the communards wished to overthrow. It's satire, you see.
Flip through the pages, see what catches your eye.
To your disappointment, there aren't any full-color pictures to direct your attention. Just column after column of closely set text, interrupted occasionally by little doodles in black and white. After rifling the pages with your thumb several times, you return to the table of contents. The magazine is divided into several sections: international developments, Kunst und Kultur, and local concerns. Just inside the cover, there's also an editor's note.
Let's start with the editor's note.
Comrade, as you know, this journal takes its name from Mazov's immortal expression, Du cristal à la fumée. This was his way of describing the way the rigid, crystalline structures of capitalist ideology turn to smoke under communism. But, like the structures of capitalist ideology, we too are at risk of going à la fumée, unlike many publications which are content to spoon-feed their readers reassuring drivel. La Fumée is committed to telling the radical truth, even when that truth may drive away potential subscribers.
Only 4 issues in, and it sounds like they've already alienated their readership.
So please, if you value our radical Mazovian perspective on contemporary politics, culture, and international affairs, please consider subscribing today.
Kim.
In struggle, the editors.
Kim, I think this is a communist magazine.
What do you expect? It was laying around the office of the Debarders Union. They're probably bankrolling the thing.
You flip back to the front of the magazine. The table of contents unfolds before you.
I want to catch up on international developments.
This section includes a long, tedious critique of the latest round of free trade negotiations between the EPIS nations and the Free State of Semenine.
Oh, more EPIS stuff. Fascinating.
You also skip over an article about heavy fuel oil smuggling along the Messina border. Something about bear wrestling in Samara. Book riots in Yugograd.
I want to learn about the bear wrestling. Can we please read up on the bear wrestling?
Face it, you really aren't interested in foreign affairs. You're not even sure where most of these countries are.
But the bear wrestling?
You flip back to the front of the magazine. The table of contents unfolds before you.
Kunst und Kultur, so arts and culture. What is it?
It takes a moment, but gradually it dawns on you that Kunst und Kultur must mean arts and culture.
Why they decided to title this one section in Walter is beyond you. Also, Walter is apparently the game equivalent for German.
It evokes a sense of recognition and fellowship among those privileged enough to understand. As you leaf through this section, you come across several reviews of recent radio plays, as well as a brief artist spotlight featuring a local artist identified only as CS. The main feature, though, is a long essay titled Tip Top Tournée, a critical Mazovian perspective.
I'll read the profile of CS.
This so-called artist spotlight is really just a brief Q&A, made all the briefer by the subject's evident hostility to her interviewer.
CS, that sounds like Cindy the Skull. Just a moment, what is this Tip Top Tournée?
The actual article is surprisingly light on details, but after skimming a page or two, you gather that it has something to do with motor carriage racing. If you don't follow it, you only ever hear about the ludicrous sponsorships and obscene death toll.
Alright, let's see what these communists have to say about Tip Top.
You think you're settling in for a relaxing recap of the most recent season, maybe sprinkled with some nice anecdotes about a few of the more colourful drivers. Instead, you find yourself skimming a 10,000-word feature about all the politically problematic aspects of Tip Top Tournée.
What's wrong with Tip Top?
Where to even start? For one, there's the crass commercialism of its sponsorships, and then there's the practically criminal emphasis on deadly motor crashes. So, all of it, basically.
Hang on, who wrote this stuff?
Oddly enough, this article has 2 bylines. Nasteb Encolada Bernal and Exilus Buka. There's no way those are real names.
Wait, why aren't they real names? I mean, my name is Raphael Ambrosius Costeau. I don't think those sound too outlandish.
Have you ever met anyone named Exilus? Come on, they're plainly pseudonyms.
More than that, they're likely anagrams. What's so bad about sponsorships?
Under capitalism, the article says, every pursuit has its price. Every pleasure, even one as elemental as the joy of racing others around a track, is reduced to an advertising opportunity. Thus, the so-called tournée becomes a competition between increasingly meaningless brand signifiers. Your discount laundry detergent racing against a pack of Astra cigarettes, or even a Fritta.
Right, but then you get to see them crash.
And that precisely is what's problematic about it. Were it not for the promise of random, spectacular violence, audiences would quickly lose interest. At the end of the day, it's the destruction of these 750,000 real races that you're really watching for.
Wow, you're right. I really am just in it for the violence.
You see, one cannot avoid the conclusion that Tip Top Tournée is simply the apotheosis of spectacular entertainment under capitalism.
Kim, did you know that Tip Top Tournée is actually an orgiastic ritual of capitalistic destruction? I had no idea.
I can safely say the thought had never crossed my mind, detective.
The lieutenant furrows his brow. I wonder what else is really just a metaphor for life under capitalism.
I'm sure most things are, if the young men who wrote this article are to be believed. If I had to wager, I'd say they've never even seen the inside of a motor, much less a motor race. I take whatever they write with a large grain of salt.
You flip back to the front of the magazine. The table of contents unfolds before you.
Let's see what they mean by local concerns.
Unsurprisingly, much of this section is taken up with articles declaring unqualified support for the dock workers' strike. You skim the headlines. Paint the harbour red and white. Martinez tames the wild pines. A city in revolt. First we take Martinez, then we take La Delta. Finally, there's a brief article by the writer, G. Martin, accusing the owner of the Capeside apartments of illegally attempting to evict certain communist tenants simply for not having paid their rent.
Damn communists should have killed a lot of them when they had the chance. I don't think this is us. If it weren't for the wild pipes, all those moochers would be out of a job. Charging rent just to live somewhere is pretty outrageous. Wouldn't it be better for everyone if labor and capital could reach some reasonable accommodation? Why should I care? This doesn't have anything to do with me. I guess I'll leave this up for the chat. What do we think about Cape Side Apartments illegally evicting certain communist tenants? No, why should I care? Doesn't affect me.
The eternal problem, according to G. Martin, is that under capitalism, the worker is rendered incapable of perceiving their own agency or lack thereof. Thus, they tend to experience their own oppression as though it were happening to somebody else. Is that true? Have you felt estranged from your own self recently?
Have I ever?
You flip back to the front of the magazine. The table of contents unfolds before you.
I guess we're done with La Fumée. I think we're done for the night. I guess we'll just open the door, say good night to Kim, send him away. Yeah, see you in the morning, Kim. I'll just go in my room. Bye. I'll just close the door. Or not. Now let's be very quiet so Kim doesn't know we're actually not going to sleep, because we still have one more thing to do at the end of the day. One that we missed out on day one. Gart, I swear to God, you never saw me. You never saw me leave at this hour. Alright. Time to get to the giant ice bear fridge. There's a prize waiting for us there.
The bear's eyes are still glowing red. It's guarding over the freezing corpse hidden inside its belly.
Try to remove the dead man's boots.
The body is reluctant to let go of the boots, as though it were its last bit of dignity. You're going to need to summon all your strength for this undertaking. Whatever you're planning to do, you need to do it before you catch pneumonia in the cold draft coming from deep inside the fridge.
Pull on the right boot.
It's not completely useless. You're able to reveal a little more of the putrid polymer sock beneath the boot.
Pull on the left boot.
It feels like the leg is going to come off along with the boot, but you're able to get the boot to move a centimeter or two. Just relax. This is easy. This is happening.
This is happening. Adjust his seating position first.
He's too heavy to move by yourself. A great mass of dead muscles, with hoarfrost covering his milky eyes.
Try to twist the boots off one by one.
This is the right method. It takes some time, but eventually the boots come off, with nasty slices of polymer sock stuck to even bigger pieces of skin and rotting flesh.
Take stock of the damage.
Not good. Let's pin this on the bear. The ice bear tore up his legs with its claws. As for the boots, you can't possibly do anything with them until you've cleaned and disinfected them thoroughly. Yes, these absolutely need to be washed before. The stink is incredible. Didn't the Whirling have a kitchen?
Do you have something new to tell me, dead man?
Shoot, Looney Rooney.
How do you like it in the fridge?
I like it a lot, brother. This really is your finest hour. You're a genius, a regular Copperlangelo.
That's me. Enough.
Come back later, Coppo. Amuse yourself with my frank manners and my memento mori features. If possible, Also, see me in your dreams.
Got the boots. Don't smell these boots. Better yet, don't even think about them, unless it's to think about how you're going to get them clean, that is. For now, they're unsellable, unwearable, and just downright disgusting.
These boots were probably left on the corpse because they were impossible to pull off while it was hanging. They're not exactly pleasant to look at right now, much less smell. Hopefully, you will know who they belonged to very soon.
Will I ever be able to wear them?
The size seems about right. Once you get the foul-smelling flesh gunk out.
Isn't there a saying about walking in another man's shoes?
You've seen too much to be that naive. Even if you don't remember it, you'll never know what it was like to be him.
Put the boots away. Whirling has a kitchen, and I think it's open for the night as well. Yep, kitchen is open.
This industrial gas-powered stove has been used to prepare food for many hungry hostel guests. There are several pots and pans on hand. Getting the corpse residue out of these boots is going to require patience, and also a huge pot full of boiling water, soap, and white vinegar.
Check out the cookware.
A commercial pot draws your attention. It's very large, gigantic even. It could be used to make enough stew to feed an entire city, and also to boil a putrid pair of death boots.
Check out the cleaning supplies.
There is a variety of soaps and bleaches in the cabinet to the left of the stove. There is also a bottle of white vinegar in the cabinet next to the fridge. It's bad with those boots. Don't be stingy now.
These boots are really disgusting. Pour some dish soap and the bottle of white vinegar into the pot.
The delicious smells of cheap soap and vinegar waft up from the pot. All right now, chef. Light up the stove and boil them.
Add water and boots to the pot. Bring it all to a nice boil.
The strong smell of vinegar forces you to step away from the pot. The water slowly comes to a boil.
Wait.
Strips of polymer fabric and human tissue separate from the lining of the boots. They float to the bubbling surface.
Beautiful.
A 2-course dinner of rotten flesh and hardened ceramic.
Wait some more.
The boots look cleaner and cleaner. Those bits of human flesh are beginning to look cooked. You can smell it too. Just like beef stew.
A little more.
That's it, chef. The boots are as clean as they're going to get. Steam, dense with the smell of strange meat, disappears into the vent above the stove.
Dump the sock and flesh stew and examine your new boots.
A pair of real beauties. The boots are shiny, hot, and reek of vinegar. Just perfect.
Master Chef out. We got Fairweather T500 Greaves, +2 authority, put your foot down. -1 to composure, shoes too big to fill. These greaves are light as feathers and just a tad too big for you, but don't let that bother you. With these on, you look like some kind of future warrior, and they'll keep you safe if you accidentally shoot yourself in the foot. So worth it. Oh yeah, future cop.
You look down at the white ceramic sabatons hugging your arches and calves, surprised at how well they fit. Your movements cause tiny little clicks, like dice rolling somewhere far away, as the plates reorient to your motions.
Decked out in future armor, like a cop ought to be.
The hardened vitreous enamel, at once sleek and light, adds a glow to your cheeks and a spring to your step. Just imagine what a full suit of this stuff could do for you.
We got two of the same options. We can probably sell it to other cops. Or we should study it. What do you think? Should we sell them or should we study the boots because they're enemy technology? Seems like a logical thing to do. Yep. Let's study those boots.
Remember, this is a highly specialized kinetic redistributor meant to stop bullets. Wear it. Observe its properties. See if there's a weakness in the design. For the day you have to fight someone covered in the same material.
Well, we gained yet another thought. Let's have a look at that. Fairweather T500, -1 sever, fair hard to move, takes 3.5 hours to internalize. It really hurts to punch this armor. A sword wouldn't even leave a scratch. A bullet would bounce right off. Still, there must be some flaw in it that would allow you to stand your ground against this dangerous enemy technology. You just have to figure out what it is. Possibly by beating yourself while wearing it? Shooting yourself? Let's see. Well, that's an interesting thought. It's probably might be useful in the future if we have to fight someone with the same armor. Besides that, let's open up another thought cabinet slot. And I think it's 2 a.m. That's when the day ends. From here on out, timer will not advance anymore. So we may as well call it a night and go to sleep. With our newly found boots that we finally got. Guess that's it. Good night, world.
The bed is still cold from the broken window, and not too inviting. But it's yours. You've earned it.
Go to sleep.
The bed is still cold from the wind blowing in from the broken window. The mattress creaks as you close your eyes and try your hardest to fall asleep.
Here we are again, my broken bud. The waves are coming, carrying you away. But you can't go. No, you have to stay. Always half aware of yourself. You're not cooperating, brother man.
Why?
It's your disgusting body. Even through your sleep, you feel a vague discomfort suffusing it. Your belly and your sides are unpleasantly tender. You wish you could curl up into a fetal ball of safety. But you cannot, because of the pain.
And there's a lot of it, ever present in your organs. It's like every one of them has their own nasty song to sing. That pain in your right side is your enlarged liver, by the way. As for your kidneys, you've really been compounding the damage lately.
I'm an artist, and liver damage is my art.
Oh yeah, baby. Frame your suffering as a masterpiece. Only one problem. No one's watching. It's boring, buddy. Boring as death. You're just stuck here, in the half-world. Could try looking at other people. Really looking. But why would you want to start doing that?
Just get me out of here then. Back to the other place.
Oh, baby boy, you're already in the other place. There's no nourishment for you tonight. Maybe tomorrow.
Maybe if you know, like took a lot of drugs before you go to sleep. That'd do the trick. Maybe if you cracked the damn thing, then you'd feel satisfied and tired, holding the picture puzzle in your hands, complete. Maybe if you weren't so hard on yourself.
What do you think you're doing right now? Coming to some greater awareness? Look at all these lights, blinking in and out of existence. Thoughts! You're just pretending that you're asleep, even to yourself, while the world goes on without you.
Let it. Let it.
But it never seems to let you go, does it? Time to rise and wipe that shining sweat off as best you can. Gather your bearings. Rock and roll.
What an invigorating night. And with that, we've cleared day 2. We didn't get that much done, honestly. But we did find Perholidon. We interviewed the Sunday Friend. Did some smaller things. Found her heraldic bird. And we got the reality lowdown. At long last, we actually learned about this world of ours, but there's still 2 more things we need to ask Joyce. Something close to us, which required esprit de corps, and something fundamental, which requires conceptualization. I'm sure we'll be able to get it at some point. For right now, I think it's time. It's a good point, good cutoff point for the episode, seeing how we just cleared the 2nd day. And on day 3, the game opens up a fair bit, so we'll have more areas to explore, more people to talk to, and we'll do that next time in Let's Play Disco Elysium. I'll see you then.